Good morning, natural gas. It's Wednesday, August the 5th, 2026. I'm Tim Biggins, president of ELK Trading Company. And for the spot September natural gas contract, we're up just 6 ticks to 68.80. Right now, the RSI is going sideways. Why? We've got storage expectations tomorrow ranging from plus 25 to plus 30, but last year was plus 13, the 5-year average plus 23. So if it's in that range, it's bearish. We're not getting any help here. The Northeast remains cool, but we are starting to see some improvement on the LNG side. So let's turn again here. Before we go here, on the daily chart, we need to see a close below 268.20. That's yesterday's close in order to continue our countdown toward a possible reversal. So let's turn to the hourly chart. And right now we're below the daily pivot, which came in today at 2709. The RSI is snaking sideways here. Looks like we're going to hold here between first support 263.20 and the pivot at 2709. Doesn't look like we have enough momentum pushing in either direction at the moment. Let's turn to the April through October strip, and we're just barely down 3 ticks here. The RSI is trying to turn to the downside. Again, the trend is still lower. We had hoped to test that trend line, but really it's just going sideways to slightly lower. So this is the fear that El Nino or super El Nino conditions persist through winter, which means that we might end up with too much natural gas in storage come April 1. And let's turn to the grid here. ERCOT here, renewables around 45,000 megawatts. Our total system-wide demand just about 89,000 megawatts. Natural gas right now just over 25,000 megawatts in the fuel mix here. Again, this is good news here because natural gas is actually king. Solar isn't picking up just yet. A little bit of cloudy conditions here. That means that natural gas has 38% of the fuel mix in ERCOT right now. And let's take a look at our PJM, MISO, and possibly NYISO, that's New York. We'll have some nice price spikes here potentially this morning. Here we're starting to see that already in MISO, pushing up here right now almost toward $100 here. SPP pushing out right now over $53. We'll look to see if PJM is also volatile. We did see some volatility yesterday. Let's turn to the weather. 6 to 10-day temperature outlook. As you can see, the above normal temperatures are from Texas basically over toward the Carolinas. And that is continuing here into the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook here. Again, you can start to see some near normal to below normal temperatures now in New England here as that cooler temperature in the Northeast continues to press down and limit the extent of heat. Again, it's from the interior West all the way over to the Carolinas, but everything above is doing okay and nice and cool. So let's turn to the weather models, the extreme heat risk here. We do continue to see extreme heat risk here as we move into Sunday. Sunday is the peak here at 3.5 million people under extreme heat risk, mostly in the interior West. Upper Midwest, major heat risk here. We do start seeing some heat risk here all the way up into the East Coast toward Long Island here, North Carolina, and around Boston. But then it cools off come Monday here and into Tuesday. Let's see if we can push here to the model. And as we can see, there's triple digits right now from Texas all the way over toward the Carolinas here. As we go all the way through the forecast period here, this pushes out into the 3rd week of August. And that means we're just sitting there at the very end here. 99 in Dallas, Phoenix 100, all the way over in Raleigh, North Carolina, just 87. But you can start seeing St. Louis 102. So again, the heat is limited to the interior central part of the country or the interior West. Let's turn to Japan Korea market right now. Down just a little bit here on the news that the Strait of Hormuz negotiations continue. There has been a heat wave in Japan and Korea. And let's turn to Europe because there is more heat coming there as well. And as you can see here, we do get a little bit of relief here starting Friday in France, not too much before some major heat comes back in on Sunday again into Wednesday here. This is the 12th. and 13th, all the way through the 15th, excuse me. And then we start seeing some warm temperatures starting to show back up in the third week of August. Let's turn to European storage. We're currently sitting right now, I'm sorry, that's the Germany here. This is the EU, currently at 57.7% full. It is trending along minimal levels here, and injection rates have dropped off here with the heat. Let's turn to Germany because that's the largest consumer of natural gas. And as you can see, new lows, not good news. And let's take a look at France. France, same thing. We're crawling along the bottom here. And that's not great news either. Again, last year, 78.8%. This year, 57.9%. So there's going to be a little bit of panic here in the next 2 weeks if Europe can't cool down. Let's turn to Asia here. This is the weather models, and this is Typhoon Dolphin. And as you can see right here on this particular model run, it takes it directly into Shanghai and then off to the north toward the capital city of Beijing. This is quite low here, as you can see, coming in down all the way to 924, makes impact here at 950 on millibars. So this is going to be very interesting. The storm system that was expected behind it has now dissipated a little bit here and really moves up toward Japan and out to sea. Let's turn to Asia, and there is some heat across the Koreas, all the way from Shanghai up to the capital city. There have been heat waves here also in Japan, but the cooler temperatures with Dolphin impact right there on the 8th. That's just 3 days away. And as you can see, everything south of Shanghai is pushing cooler temperatures. There's the water, the moisture coming through that typhoon. And the model runs on this particular case push it a little further south than Shanghai. But in general, there is cooler temperatures in the eastern provinces. This also affects the Koreas and Japan with some cooler temperatures. That's good news. They've had a major heat wave. But again, the model runs toward the very end, August 20th, pushes more heat back into this space. Shanghai back up to the capital city. Let's turn to LNG, and this is Ras Laffan. We've got 2 ships, 2 tankers here loading up at Ras Laffan. That's good news there. Let's turn to the U.S. Here's Cameron, steady as she goes, 1.476. Here's Freeport, though, little choppy over the last 2 days. Again, maintenance continues all the way through the end of this month. Here's this is Cheniere. This is Calcasieu Pass. Sorry, this is Creole Trail feeding Sabine Pass here. My apologies. We're only at 157 capacity opens. That's good news there. High utilization. Over at Corpus Christi, same thing. Very high utilization there. Here's Trans Cameron pipeline that feeds Calcasieu Pass. Again, the same open capacity there. There is nothing loading at Calcasieu Pass today. Right now, there's Plaquemines. There is a boat there, and it has got a little bit of open capacity. And how about Golden Pass? Well, we saw over 500,000 yesterday, but in the evening cycles, it dropped off. Today, we've got 380,000 going into the system for train 1. And here's the tropics. We've got a little bit of a storm off the coast of Florida here, east of the Bahamas, a little bit over here near Nicaragua and Guatemala. But nothing else is going on at the moment. Here is the storm systems coming off of Africa. They're trying to circulate here, but not much development here because the Saharan air layer is going to be blocking any major development in this space. So we're not expecting anything in the next 7 days. It's been a quiet season, even quieter than last year. So we'll see if this dust can dissipate here the next few weeks and allow some storms to develop in the mid-Atlantic. Let's turn to the U.S. nuclear fleet, and right now we're running at 3.1 gigawatts are offline. Again, as we cool in the northern tier of the country, some of those units will go down for maintenance and refueling. And here's the wildfire risk, again, mainly out in the interior west from New Mexico all the way back up into Washington. It is dry, and hot. And let's turn to the stocks. These are stocks in the oil and gas E&P sector. Stocks between $2 and $10 billion have a high short float, over 10%. And as you can see, it's a sea of red. Crude is down and natural gas are down. Behind me, CNX down 0.87%. Right now, recapping again for the spot September contract here. We are currently trading at 267.70, down just 5 ticks. Storage comes out tomorrow. Expectations between plus 25 and plus 30 BCF. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.